Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever this is to you. Back again with another fucking YouTube video. Doing more bullshit. Car's still taken apart. Basically haven't touched it since you guys last saw the video. Little things here and there. Today probably gonna be trying to do the front subframe raise. Kind of doing some designing, hopefully some cutting, and actually hopefully getting it finished today. Or at least tacked up, mocked up kind of thing. So that's the goal for today's video. Yeah, other than that, got some cool ass parts. So these are my billet strut towers. Started to rust just a little bit. They are mild steel. They are not billet aluminum. They are billet steel. So machined down out of a huge block. So this will be my strut tower. I used to run a camber plate, an SLR camber plate, an E36 one. Alright, fucking shout out Girl Scout cookies, bussin'. Best Girl Scout cookies, by the way. If you be rocking with the Samoas instead of this, oh, you fucking tripping. Basically, used to run these camber plates, as you can see, about the same size. But this entire thing is going to be my new strut tower now. So the coil, this will not bolt. There will be nothing to do with this. The bolts that hold to this will just be the ones that come on the top of the coil. Basically just the slider here, the pillow ball bearing in this. So this actual bearing on the top of the coil will mount just directly to the tower, just deleting. You could call this my top hat technically, but it is my strut tower. I'm just getting rid of the top hat. So it's just gonna bolt directly to this. So yeah, that's pretty cool part. Pretty hyped on that. I've been waiting for them for a while. Shout out my guy, Pt.1 on Instagram. I'll put his @ right here. Absolutely blessed with them. He had designed some for his E36, his LS1 swapped E36. Super cool build. He had designed some for his car. I hit him up because I really wanted to do something with my car. You know, I'm trying to tilt the towers in, make them smaller just to get more clearance and everything. Get rid of my tilted sleeves like I've talked about a few times. He was super helpful, great guy. Basically just went through, he did a lot of the designing process. We converted, he still uses top hats on his tower, but we just decided with wanting to make the tower so small, basically, if I was trying to fit my original top hat inside of the tower would have to be so much bigger to actually accommodate for the top hat and be able to slide it around. So we just decided we were gonna get rid of the top hat and just directly mount here. So he was a huge help just in the entire designing process. Obviously I have really no clue what he's doing. He works at a machine shop or a CNC machine, something like that, not exactly sure. But he was able to hook it up. So if you guys need anything like this, you wanna do something crazy, definitely hit him up. He's a great guy to work with. So I'm super hyped on how those came out. I went ahead and went to the metal shop the other day. Went and got my DOM tubing. So I got two different sizes. I got, what is it? This is 1.5 inch quarter wall. There's 1.5 inch quarter wall, which is what I'm gonna be using for all my arms with my heim joints. I got a few of them over here. So basically, these are flipped around backwards, but this will just slide into the DOM tubing. You'll weld it together, and then these will be the ends of the control arm. And then for my tube front that will actually connect to my strut tower, it's 1.5 inch 0.095 wall tubing, DOM tubing for that. So I got 15 feet for the tube front, and then I got 10 feet for all the arms because I do have to make 14 arms on the car. So that should be enough because some of the arms are pretty small. My rear upper arm is probably going to be about that much tubing, basically just enough tubing to put the two ends together. But yeah, so other than that, got the metal for that, got the strut towers, really starting to come along. Kind of almost at the point where I'm done stacking parts for it, and kind of just going to get to actually fabricating. I went ahead and got a 220 volt outlet installed in my garage. So there's that. Super hyped on that. Now I can really weld some thick material with my welder. My boy Dustin's about to come out and help me. Goated fab guy. He's about to come help me do the tube front. do a lot of the designing for that. So I'm super hyped on that. But other than that, let's just get into what I was gonna do today. So right here is my front subframe. If you guys don't know, my car is steering box. So there is no rack that mounts here. There's just a steering box that mounts on this side. And then there's an arm that comes across. I think is I forget what it is. There's one main arm that comes across, and then there's an idler arm here, then a pitman arm here. And it basically just swings. There's 2 axis points here, swings across, does the turning. So my tie rods are mounted on the back of the hub, not mounted on the front. So most cars, when you do camber, you have to extend your tie rods to make up for it because they're in the front, so your front comes in. But since mine are mounted in the back, I actually had to shorten mine to get the alignment correct. So yeah, but with it being steering box on a normal subframe, I would think about shortening this spot and bringing this up, especially because I do have a raised motor anyway. This can come up before it touches the oil pan. Got probably about 1.5 inches of clearance. But since it is steering box, and I don't really want to deal with relocating the steering box, I have devised a new plan. So basically this is just a piece of tubing here, you know, part of the subframe. What I'm going to do is cut it in half along here and in half all the way across, all the way down the edge, and basically take out this chunk of it, and it will basically just be a half moon left over. And once it's a half moon, I have this right here, just some flat bar, and I'm just going to go ahead and put the flat bar, you know, think about it being cut, put the flat bar just in the middle, just like this, and then actually mount these, the actual dowel pins, mount them onto the flat bar, and then that'll basically just raise my subframe. So that's the goal. Again, like I've said in many of my videos, no fucking clue what I'm doing. Kind of just guessing. But in my head, I think it'll work. If not, I got another subframe lined up. It's like 50 bucks. So if this all goes awry, got a new subframe, then I can devise a better plan. Figure something out. I wish that these subframes were easier to raise. I wish there was people that have done this before, but there's not. I know that there's maybe one other person that did a rear subframe raise. Other than that, I'm the only other person that's done it. I know nobody who's done a front one. So I'm kind of just guessing here. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna get into it. I'm gonna set you guys up in one of the corners. And I'm just gonna, first of all, I'm gonna start cleaning this. My shit is absolutely covered in oil. It is just disgusting because I guess I kind of forgot to tell you guys. I went ahead and pulled the engine on my car because I'm stupid and I just do shit because I feel like I just want to do shit. You can see this thing is covered in oil. I was going to refresh this motor, but I'm too lazy. So it's just going to go back in once I do the tube front and the strut towers. But it's out of the car. It was easier to pull this front subframe with the motor out. I just decided that was what I was going to do. So yeah, basically just going to clean all the oil off of this, and then I'm going to start measuring, marking it off with tape, figuring out exactly how I'm going to do this, and yeah, basically just getting into it. So I will catch you guys in the next clip. We're moving on to the heavy duty shit. Engine degreaser. This shit's fucked. This shit's caked. So I'm gonna fucking spray this down and we'll see where we get. Got this bitch soaking. Hopefully it's gonna get nice and cleaned up. And then we can just wipe all the fucking oil and grease off of this. Get to fucking the actual bullshit. So fuck yeah, I'll come back when this is all clean and ready to get prepped for cutting and measuring. So. Sup guys, got the subframe cleaned up enough to start kind of mocking everything up for the cuts and everything. As you can see, basically this is just gonna cut it in half, turn it into a half moon basically. I got a little scratch mark over here that's basically just mocking up or marking where I'm gonna cut across to make it the half moon. And then I'm gonna weld that flat bar on top. First thing, obviously gotta cut it. Went ahead and did a bunch of measurements off of this top, these top two pieces. Basically just measurement in between here. so that once I cut everything off, I can position these back in the right or the correct places. The other thing that's nice is since it mounts through the bottom, I'm just gonna be able to put a drill bit through the bottom and drill straight through the flat bar, right through here. So the measurements don't matter too much, but definitely good to have them just to get them positioned correctly. So that, because I will be welding this bung back onto the top because this is an alignment dowel. So it will align the subframe properly once I reinstall it. But yeah, so basically since I made the mark and everything,
it's time to send it.
Everything's ready to go. I'm basically ready to cut. I do have a backup subframe that I got at Marketplace is ready to give me if I need it, which I probably will after I absolutely butcher this shit. But I'm definitely ready. I think that this is gonna work. I've talked to a few people. Shout out EDAS official, man with the GS, Mr. Race Subframe, Mr. Stateside Static. He was helping me out a little bit with this. This is the best thing that I can come up with for right now. So I think we're just gonna cut it and go from there basically. Fuck it.
Let's see how it goes.
Let's see.
Measure once, cut twice.
On God.
Samantha's anthem right here.
Doing some baby marks. Fucking tits.
We're safe out here.
Fucking tits.
Fucking pretty good, man.
Starting off there.
Come on, focus. Focus, motherfucker.
This shit is gonna be a lot harder to do. Just to keep actually straight.
Yeah. Honestly, you should
this is also
try and cut it like low key, kind of high up. And
yeah, and then I can
grind
flap
it.
this.
Yeah,
Shit.
flat this
yeah.
good.
Oh, that's
Down to the bottom.
Safety doubles.
That went pretty well though.
Yeah, that's
First
actually,
cut?
I mean, yeah, that's. This is making me think that this might actually work.
That's the big.
I was not confident in this before. I'm not gonna lie. I think we're solid though. I think we're locked in.
I agree.
We're good.
The interesting thing is going to be this side when you hit this part of the subframe,
sure.
and then this other side here, cutting these brackets. This is where it actually the steering box mounts up to.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting. Once I get that's why I'm doing this side first. It's a little bit easier. I can kind of see if the idea is going to work, and then if the idea works, then I can actually get to that side and
plan it out a little bit better.
Plan it out just a little bit better, and kind of see actually where I need to do. I am going to have to probably move the steering box down just a little bit from where it mounts, just because the frame, like the frame rail obviously is going to, subframe mounts below. If the bracket is right there, then I'm going to have to lower the bracket somehow.
Tell them about your idea with this portion.
Oh yeah, so basically this portion mounts under the car, basically right under the floor at the front, and I will be raising the floors, but this part is probably not part of the floor that I would be raising. just because it's a little bit too far up. So the idea here is I have to keep this part of the subframe because this is a double shear arm. So both of these arms need to be here. One of my control arms slides in here. So I'm gonna need to keep this, but I don't need to keep where this actual mount is. So I'm gonna cut this off the subframe here, leave this, and then take this, or make my own bracket, but basically cut this here, and I'm gonna weld a bracket on that's upright, that won't, because this basically is like right where the floor starts right here. So I'll be able to cut it, and then I'm gonna make a bracket that goes straight up and down, and I'm gonna mount it to the frame rail of the car perpendicularly instead of horizontally. So I think that'll work. This honestly doesn't worry me as much, just as this main part does. So once I figure this out, this is more of a, I'm gonna cut it off, mock it up in the car, and then I'm gonna kind of figure this part out. This isn't a necessity right now. This is kind of an afterthought kind of thing, even though it probably shouldn't be. You know, whatever, I'm just gonna send it.
Oh yeah.
So fuck yeah.
Cut that bit.
This angle grinder is so cooked.
No guard.
No guard. No guard, and this disc is small as fuck, and I don't know where I swear I had more discs, but I think I fucking ran through them all. Hold on, I didn't. Let's see, where the fuck are my other discs? This fucking shit is so cooked, it's like, bro. It's so hard to thread these fucking things on now.
Nice. Yo.
Shit landed on me. Angled a little down, but you know I can readjust a little bit. We're looking good though. We're looking good. We're on a solid track.
Yeah.
Good progress.
Pretty solid.
We're looking good. We're looking good, ladies and gentlemen.
That shit is loud as fuck.
Is it? Is it? Is it loud?
I don't know.
Can't hear shit. Not gonna lie. Fucking hell. I always forget how loud it is.
Yeah, bro.
I'm always worried about the sparks so much that I'm not thinking about the loudness, and then like after I'm like, it's not even bad. It's just calm. Just a little bit. It's okay. It's my work. It's my work. My work fit.
The work fit.
Locked in. This is my whole work fit.
Yeah. Give this man a welder.
A welder and a beer.
Oh yeah. Get things done.
All right. I'm just gonna keep locking the fuck in. I'm not gonna lie. I'm making a little bit too much of an upward curve. Holy fuck! I can't hear shit.
I can't even see the little scratch you made anymore.
It's right here. Right below. Little scratch. Okay, well, this is why the person behind the camera can't see the fucking scratch, because he's blind as shit. That's why.
You're telling me though that that shit doesn't end like?
No, it ends like right here.
Yeah.
That's all you need though, because then, you know, I know it's pretty good. Well, I mean, I can extend it too. Ready? Use my eyes. My eyes have never failed me. Unlike certain people.
I was born with a nerf.
Nerf. Ow, it's so hot. It might be the straightest line I've ever drawn in my entire life. It's good that I went a little too high there.
Well,
but the strategy that I'm using for it is definitely solid
yeah,
as fuck.
use the flap disc. Sand that bitch down.
Yeah, I'll flatten it out. I'll actually be able to measure it against a tape measure, or put a tape measure on it and make it flat.
Put a level on it.
And then just.
Should probably actually put a level. Well,
Nah.
is it gonna need to be?
No.
Yeah.
It can have like a certain amount of deviation in it. It's not going to be too bad. Because also the main points is going to be how I weld on the dowel, the angle at. So if I mess up the angle here a little bit, I can deviate it a little bit with moving the actual flat plane of the dowel.
Okay, you should
Just
cut
a little different.
the shit off now, while it's still kind of attached to everything else. Might be easier to cut it off than when you just have like half of the
Well, no, because it's.
upper portion. Or does it go all the way through?
It goes all the way through.
Oh, I see.
You can see it like kind of through the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like one big sleeve through the whole thing.
Down the middle.
So I'm just gonna have to use a big old flat disc and cut through this side, and then once I'm doing the other side, I'll have to cut through the other side. But not too bad so far. We're getting there. I like want to cut like this, but like I don't want it to be at head level. So you can see, pretty solid so far. Went a little bit up in the back, a little bit right there, but I'll be able to flatten it out with the flat disc once I put a piece on there. So basically, all that's left is cut this other side, which is a little bit more problematic, just with this being here. But I'm just going to cut through it, and then I'll plate over it once I weld the flat bar in, because the flat bar will come probably right about here into it. So I'll plate over it, make sure that that actual structural part is good through and through. So not too bad, to be honest.
Pretty solid, man.
But basically, I'm gonna catch you guys once I cut the other side, and then I'll lay the flat bar on top of it and really see where we are with the actual subframe. So I will see you guys in the next clip when it's ready to go. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go back through the other side, like all the way through.
Through that middle portion of it.
Yeah, just because it goes all the way through. This shit is thick as shit, though.
Almost done with it.
Why don't you cut it from the outside? Hello? Some piece of my head.
Cut through from the outside, no?
No, because I want to keep it flat. If I start going for the other thing is I can't. I probably have to go like this and then
flip it the other way.
no, because then you're cutting with the angry side.
Oh.
You don't want to cut side to side. You go with the shits.
Hot?
Feel how hot that is. It's not like insane. I like it.
Yeah,
Pretty hot.
it's pretty toasty. You need a new disc?
New disc. Hoping this is gonna give me enough.
But
Getting there. I think. I'm gonna need to cut through this a little bit more.
well, pretty close.
Oh yeah, it's so close. Fucking go in. Unless,
Oh boy, Mohammed's approaching with my food.
Oh yeah, baby.
aha!
Oh. Oh yeah.
This is gonna work so tits.
Actually looks really good on camera.
Yeah, definitely needs some flattening out, but
Yeah, but
it's not bad. I think I halved it pretty well. And look,
yeah, that works perfectly.
what I'll do here is I'll weld it, I'll backfill it, you know, I'll flap disc it, and then it's sealed there, and then I don't have to do any more because I didn't cut into enough of it for it to be a problem. So it's perfect. So this back part is gonna take a fuck ton of flap disking. I think I definitely cut a little
You
too
definitely
low.
went up a little bit, I think.
Up here and a little bit too. You can see on the side it's a little bit too low over here.
Yeah.
So I might just run a bead.
Hold on.
Look at this guy.
Fat ammo.
Yeah, you got food. You got food. Be happy. I think I'm just gonna run a bead here with some filler, and then just flatten it out,
Flatten that shit.
and then be fucking tits. Where'd I put my... So obviously
Got your level right here.
level, but yeah, so it's way too high in the rear. But I mean, shit, that's gonna work so well. Inch and a half. Where's my...
Yeah.
You're getting from there down, so that's almost an inch and a half. That's an inch and 6/16 basically, inch and 5/16 of raise, which is
That's pretty solid.
pretty solid for the front.
I mean,
And that's without doing anything. I could still cut out almost an inch from the bottom and do a pancake style subframe like a C10 and get another inch from just the bottom.
so like almost 2 inches raised.
More than 2 inches.
Yeah.
Because I can get like an inch from the bottom
And a bit
and then
over
an inch and
on the top.
5/16, so I can have almost 2.5 inches of raise in the front, which is almost like it's...
And that'll help you clear all the little fucking imperfections in the, you know, you have one square.
Well, no, it'll be
road.
perfect because then the front
Like-
subframe will lay on the floor when I do the floors.
Alrighty. Forgot this is to make the car less drivable,
It
not
needs
more
to go
drivable.
up so that the floors can go up so the car can go down. We're tucking more than half the wheel after this. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. This is probably the same video of the subframe content. Took a few days off, had my 3-day work week, bless up. Now I'm back at it. As you can see, garage, absolute shit show right now. Went ahead and got my TIG machine set up. Got my MIG machine right here. Haven't messed around with that yet. I literally just got the cart right here. Just put the cart together, put that up, all good. But as you can see, whole interior is out of the car. It's sitting right here. Basically, it is just about time to raise the floors in the car. I want to try to do a 2.5 or 3 inch floor raise about, so get tons of clearance, and hopefully I can go about 2 inches lower on the whole car. And like I said in many videos before, put the front bumper, put the actual front lip on the fucking ground. Never have to worry about looking monster truck again. Just have the whole car planted, cut the skirt in half, be fucking perfect. But that's for a later day. Maybe get into it a little bit more in this video. Actually, I might as well just show you guys. Like I said at the start of this video, I got the metal for the tube front and for the arms. Also went ahead and painted my barrels black, or at least this barrel for my front one. Just wanted to see how it looks. Looks pretty cool. These also are for sale. If you want to buy my front pair or my full set, let me know. Just DM me. We can figure out. I'm trying to get these gone. I got a new set of wheels I'm looking at. But other than that, went ahead and got all of the metal for the floor raise. So I went a little bit light on the metal. I think it's gonna be fine though. So it's an 1/8 inch thick. So these, I went ahead, all of this bracing is for the side across. So it's 2x1 rectangle tubing. It's 0.120 wall, which is 1/8 inch thick. And then these big ones are gonna be for the length of the car. So basically, you know, length of the car and then bracing to the side. So length of the car is 3x1 rectangle tubing, same thickness. It's 1/8 inch, 0.120 wall. And I got 6 of these, of the smaller ones, the 2x1 ones. So I got, what is it? I got 240 inches of the 2x1, and then I got 140 inches of the 3x1. So that should be perfect. Went ahead and got some angle iron as well, some 1/8 inch. So the angle iron will just be welded onto the sides here, or like this, I guess, sitting here. Welded there. Now it'll just hold the floor up, basically, or hold the sheet metal up, and then you tack the sheet metal, do little beads on it, and weld the actual sheet metal to the bracing, basically the rectangle tubing. But this is the sheet metal I got. I'm gonna need more sheet metal, but this is a 70 by 30 piece of sheet metal. This should do most of it. I'm gonna need probably a little bit more. The sheet metal is super expensive. This one piece of metal was almost all of this cost-wise. This was about $170. That was about $240. So I'm about $400 into the metal for the floor raise. So really not too bad. But you know, definitely a good chunk of change. So yeah, but this is 11 gauge. I'm not exactly sure what the thickness is. I think it's a little bit below 1/8 inch, but this will be perfect. Nice and thick, but really this isn't where the sturdiness comes from. But I definitely wanted to go a little thick on this. So yeah, so that's all the metal I got for the flooring. Obviously got the whole carpet torn out of the car. Fucking dumbass sleeping bag I got here. The one problem with my carpeting, so this is the front half of the carpet. On my car, they made a really smart decision where the front carpet actually wraps under the dash. So I went ahead and cut it here just so I could pull it out without having to pull out the HVAC box and everything like that. Really don't know why they did that, but just something we got to deal with. It's a common thing on these cars. You just cut around the carpet. There's a trim piece that goes over it anyway. You can't see it, but just cutting the carpet makes it super easy to pull out. So went ahead and did that. Basically everything is ready to go. I just gotta start cutting the floor out and start kind of planning everything out. Went ahead and took some ballpark measurements just to get the material that I got. And now probably the next video will be just working on the actual car, working in the car, starting to cut and plan and everything. So that should be a really fun video. But back into what we were gonna do today. So I'm back working on the subframe. Obviously got the MIG welder out. Got my 220 outlet put in, as I think I stated earlier in the video. Got a big ass fucking extension cord. So I can run this on a 220 outlet. So fucking good, better welds, more heat. But we have this basically ready to get tacked on. So like I said, it's a piece of flat bar. It's 1/8 inch, so same as the flooring. And then I'm just gonna tack weld it here, just kind of make sure everything is flat and straight and everything. And then basically what I'll do is this little gap here, obviously it doesn't come around here, so I should be able to cut this piece off, flip it over, and then put it over here and actually cut it and mold it, or you know, mold it to it and make it fit perfectly right there, and just be able to seal this up, not have to worry about that. But other than that, I got it pretty solid. Obviously, haven't cut this side out yet. Just kind of getting it mocked up in place. But everything looks pretty good. It's pretty solid. There's still a few gaps, but I should be able to fill it with some weld. I just want to tack it in place and hopefully get a level on it and just kind of make sure that it's flat or flat-ish, you know. I'm always willing to, you know, not everything has to be perfect. You know, first build, bunch of bullshit. I'm not a professional. So I'm not measuring everything to like the millimeter or anything like that. But you know, I'm trying to be as accurate as possible with my trusty friend, my angle grinder and my flap disc. So just been messing around with it, starting to grind it down. Like I said, I'm gonna tack it in place. I'll set the camera up in the corner on the tripod and just film myself kind of tacking it in place. And I'll come back once it's all tacked in place. We can kind of see where it's actually sitting and if it's where I want to keep it. And if it is, then I'll probably finish weld it in place. Alright, so I got it tacked in place, a few spots, just along each side. See, looking pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with it. First time welding on the 220 outlet, and I can already just see that the penetration is much better. If it'll focus. Each little tack has burned through spots, so that's great. But yeah, I think realistically, I'm just gonna finish weld this together. I'm gonna take a few measurements just with level and stuff, try to make sure it looks all good. So you can see here, it looks pretty level. I mean, obviously, not no measuring gauge, but, and then after, I'll just go through these bottom holes here with a drill bit, drill up through it, and then I will cut off the top dowel section from the front. The rear won't need the dowel section. This will just be for alignment here on the front, but the rear I will just drill through this bottom hole. In the back, just I'll do a little bit hard to see. I'll do a center punch through it because the hole is obviously much bigger than the bolt that goes through it. So yeah, basically just gonna do final measurement checks. I'll throw you guys back on the tripod in the corner, do the measurement checks, and then finish weld this together. So hell yeah, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so got this thing fucking welded up pretty solid. So I went ahead and cut off this bottom tab here that was overhanging, like I said, went ahead and welded it right here. I might lay a bead on that middle section, it's really hot, on that middle section right there, and then grind it down just to seal it up completely. But otherwise, looks like we got some pretty solid penetration, and laid a bead on each side. Went ahead and dropped it down. This is what the side is looking like. So just one, obviously I did it in a few different passes, but pretty solid. I think I'm gonna do a little bit more right here, but I am just gonna grind this part down so that it contours with the actual subframe. But other than that, pretty solid for the first side. Like I said, still need to drill the holes at the top right there and then right here. But pretty solid, probably a little bit of warpage just from how much heat I put into it. I really wanted to just put some super solid beads on this just because it is, you know, my subframe. I don't want anything cracking with it or anything. So I went ahead and put a lot of heat into it. I might take like maybe go get like a belt sander or something like that and just try to belt sand it smooth. Yeah, but otherwise pretty solid. So I think that's probably where we're gonna end off the video for today. Really, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do for the other side just because of the steering box mount, like I had said previously, right there, and then the mount that's up there. So just wanna do a little bit more thinking with that. I'll probably, hopefully, work on it some more tomorrow, but I want to try to get this video out tonight. There's a lot of stuff. Been a while since I uploaded a video, so you know, even if I don't have it finished, I mean, I got this first side finished, which I mean, really the other side is just going to be a carbon copy of this side. So this is really what you can expect. But yeah, the next video, like I said, I'll do this side. I'll go ahead and drill the holes on this and maybe try mocking it up. Figure out what I'm going to do with this part right here. Just because I do have to cut this off and put a new mount on the car probably. But yeah, this is pretty solid. Obviously, like I said, went ahead and welded up the front too. So I have like a little rubber grommet that goes in here that I'll just cut in half and put back in there. So it is sealed there. Or I'm just going to lay a bead here and just kind of fill it with weld. Not really sure which one I'll do, but other than that, as you can see, pretty solid. Pretty happy with how it came out for just like a guessing game idea. Obviously, like I've said many times, I do not know what I'm doing. This is all guesswork, but I have a lot of fun doing it. I have a lot of fun uploading it. So yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. And yeah, have a great night, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.